Hello, hello. We're live with the Crow
Hey.
Inquisitors, doing some running wheel action here.
Talking to crows,
Talking to crows, you know.
getting answers,
Getting answers from
Getting
those
answers.
crows, making sure that
killing
the
them
crows,
for not being the right religion.
the crows
That's what we do.
Yeah, buddy.
know things. We must.
Yeah.
Anyway, So we're gonna play some burning wheel. Let's go ahead and get started here with the good old beliefs and instincts grind, and we can
Right.
we can rework these a little bit because you might as well just like take off ones that aren't going to be relevant at all, for sure this session, book them for now, and then make come up with something else, however minor, just so you can actually get Artha.
Right.
So Cantarius, let's start with you. You should turn your light on, by the way.
Oh yeah. Give me. Go to the thing. Oh hi. Oh, it was like, why are we playing Stormlight Archive? All right, so not everyone has to die. I will do this for my people in order to teach them. I'll redeem Raiden and keep that one. Siegfried is skilled but careless. I will learn what I can and befriend him. I kind of want to change that, but I don't know what to yet. Whitesea has been stained with innocent blood. I will befriend Caspian. Obviously, keep that one. If there is a problem, I will take. Well, here I'll befriend Caspian. I will start by helping build the wall. If there's a problem, I'll take the lead in order to protect my people. Always redeem those who repent and never let relentless evil roam free. So I'll change the second belief at some point, unless Jared has,
Shows up.
is here. Yeah, and we can have a scene with that. But until then,
Cool. And Caspian.
If you want to do someone else first, I'm trying to rewrite one, and I almost got it. Is that okay?
Oh,
Could we do something else first? Somebody else first.
Sorry, I didn't realize that's what you said.
You're fine.
Alrik. Let's do you.
Oh, you said Alrik, not all right. Okay. Beliefs. The Crow Inquisitors are divided and unstable, yet incredibly influential, and must sound out the intentions of their leader. The temple is the center of the people's influence in Whitesea, and the priestess the center of the temple. I must gain her trust and support. I was destined for greatness, and there's greatness in me still. I would build my influence in Whitesea.
That's such a good belief.
Do instincts as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Influence is currency. Seek it out wherever it can be found. Always seek the interests of the people of Whitesea. All's fair in intrigue and war. Violence is never off the table.
Cool stuff.
Are you cool with me sort of fleshing this out as I go? Because I have an idea for it, but I don't have a goal for it yet. So.
You're fine.
Okay. So beliefs, I have my touch has been too light and my ambition lacks, and there's going to be a step to correct that, but I don't know what that's going to be yet. Okay. And I have a deal is a deal, and blood keeps it sacred. Cantarius has extended his hand in friendship, and I will test the intentions of that overture. And the wilderness is filled with obstacles. It's time to level the field, beginning with bringing Alrik securely under my wing. And then I have my whole thing about Siegfried and the special belief thing, so I don't forget it.
Yeah.
Instincts, always have someone dangerous to back you up, preferably Gwyn. Never settle for less when you have
preferably
more.
Gwyn.
Always be the one in control. Traits are self-satisfied, affinity for business, noticeably crippled, palsy, Pennywise, charismatic, all the things.
Cool stuff. Pennywise is a call-on trait for resources, isn't it? Or haggling?
I'm not sure. One of the two. If I had my burning wheel book, I'd look it up.
I have it right in front of me. So
perfect.
Just curious. I know it's one of those.
Yeah.
Pennywise. Yeah, resources. Huh? Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool trait.
Yeah. When would you ever need a call-on trait for that? Isn't call-on only useful in ties?
No.
Oh, but you can tie in.
So this is the thing, David. I actually looked this up while we were camping this year, because that's when I do my annual reread through the Burning Wheel books and like figure out the rules even more.
Yeah.
My second annual.
Second annual meeting of the Swan Song.
Second annual meeting of the Swan Song. Yep. About 3 months after the first one.
Yep.
Call-on traits are actually just to break ties, so they can be used to automatically make you win if you are literally wait, let me double check this to make sure I get the exact wording on this right.
Okay.
Let's see. So are set either to break a tie in a call-on trait having character's favor, so like you have a tie and you just say, because I have this trait, I win, or to allow the player to re-roll failed dice on one test.
What?
All failed dice. That it's been in there all along. All failed dice.
Hold up. Repeat that. What?
Yep.
That's like 100 times better than die traits. Why are they cheaper?
It's once on one test.
Like ever?
I don't think so. See, this was the thing. Like I looked this up here. Let me double check in the codex, because it was in the codex that I really saw this.
Right.
They had more like specific rules.
I don't think we ever had a call-on trait come into play before.
Right, exactly, and that's because
that would be
we weren't using them right.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, it's because we thought they only worked on ties, and not only did people not have very many of them, but they never tied in instances where they mattered.
Exactly.
And I assume that counts with ties against the difficulty too, right?
Mm-hmm. So usually those aren't usually as like big of a deal, because most of the time on a tie you succeed anyway.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's only when you needed like for circles tests or whatever, right? Like.
Right.
Let's see. I know they're here somewhere.
So when I spell your name, Cantarius, it says I spelled it wrong, and when I right-click to see what it wants me to say, it says Cantankerous, which I think is great.
Cantankerous?
That's what it wants your name to be, yeah.
I can tank all of Earth.
Don't finish that. Okay. I was going to say, you just sound out the rest of that. That's going to sound bad.
Yeah, didn't catch that one. We're going to move on.
That's okay. I miss Jared. I'm just kidding. I mean, I do. I wish he was here, but
for bad reasons.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
I know it's here somewhere.
You should Google it.
Oh. Here we go. You can use a call-on trait to break a tie or reroll failed dice. Doesn't rerolling failed dice break the tie? Usually you're going to use a call-on for the reroll, but there are instances when you would simply want to break the tie in your favor rather than reroll. If you've rolled all successes, no failed dice, and the roll is still tied, or if you do not want to risk a reroll in which you might not even get a single success when all you need is one.
Oh, okay. So you reroll the dice on a tie.
No.
That's what it said. It said on a tie you reroll the dice, or you can just break the tie in one's favor. Isn't it?
No. So it's
okay.
You can use a call-on trait to break a tie or reroll failed dice. Doesn't rerolling failed dice break the tie? Usually going to call on.
Oh, I see. It's just explaining the redundancy of that. Okay, yeah. I see.
Usually you're going to use a call-on for the. Let me read this. You're just going to use a call-on for the reroll. But there are instances when you'd simply want to break the tie in your favor rather than reroll. If you've rolled all successes and the roll is still tied, or if you don't want to risk a reroll in which you might not even get a single success when all you need is one. So it does actually seem to say.
Well, it sounds like that was explaining. Okay, well, first of all, it sounded like that was explaining
that doesn't make
why you would reroll dice during a tie, but it doesn't say how many times you can do it, so it makes it sound like it is only during a tie.
Right,
Plus,
and that's what's confusing, right?
So much better.
It doesn't make any sense at all to have that as an option, to have rerolling the failed dice as an option, if you can only do it when you get a tie anyway, right? Right? Because it says those are the two things you can do, and so if on a tie you can choose to break the tie or re-roll your failed dice. That doesn't make any sense, right? It has to be when you have not succeeded and you have a trait that is a call-on for this thing, you can say, I will re-roll my failed dice to see if I get more.
It makes sense to have that option, because it said, doesn't re-rolling break the tie? And it said, well, it might, but you could get no successes, and then you might want
exactly.
To
but then you would always want to just break the tie, because there's be zero reason to ever
I see what you
use
mean.
that.
Well, that's not true, because in like a combat situation, you could get more damage or something. But I don't know that even matters. But that's such a
it's so weirdly vague.
Yeah, but does it say how many times you can re-roll it otherwise then?
It just says on one test. In the other part of the in the original section for them. But I'm assuming that means like once per session or something.
Okay, you can use a call-on trait once per session to do one of two things: break a tie test. Okay, Brent, you can only do that once as well, in your favor, or to re-roll all of the failed dice. Holy crap!
Yep.
I'm getting so many more of these. That is insane. Literally, I have a call-on for my two favorite things, which is convincing people to do stuff and buying things. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, that's something I realized recently.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Well, all right. I guess that's a thing now.
Yep.
Gonna have to get down one of those for swords.
But again, yeah, it's like one test per session. So.
Holy crap. Yeah, but I mean, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume you apply that. Oh yeah, you have to apply that after you feel. That's baller. Okay, cool. All right, moving on. Our obligatory look up rules at the beginning of the session. Yep. Period is over.
Okay, so does anyone have a particular scene they want to start out with? Because other than like, if you do not, then I also have a thing, but only if you guys don't. So
I don't have anything.
I mean, I think we all had a few, but why don't we start out with whatever you had in mind? Because I feel like all of ours. I mean, yeah, I don't know that any of them make super good introductory scenes, so.
Okay. So what does your normal day look like, Caspian? Real quick.
I mean, that's a good question. He probably. It depends, I guess, on how much he has to directly oversee parts of the town. Mm-hmm. Because if he doesn't have to do very much, he probably just wastes time.
Right.
Those things, and like writes letters and reads letters from But if he probably does it anyways, right? But if he has to directly interact with people, because it's not a huge, he doesn't have a huge holding, which means he wouldn't have a whole lot of people beneath him to do that stuff for him. So presumably any large issues he would have to interface with directly as far as like the people having them go. So I assume he has to a lesser extent, the whole like people come in and have an audience with him to talk with them about stuff. Mm-hmm. That probably eats up some time. But yeah, otherwise I think he's probably like letters and looking over trade deals and stuff like that are coming into question or anything like that with the other towns.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So at any point in time, I'm probably just like at a desk scribbling something down or whatever.
Right.
Except that I'm not, because I can't write. So I probably have what's his face doing it for me.
Yeah. So I mean, you're probably spending most of your time answering petitions or something, right? Like.
Right. Yeah.
Or just talking with.
Yeah, Robbie probably does most of the writing.
Yep.
Unless he needs to like ask me a question or something.
Yeah, you might be there with Robbie, like having him dictate stuff for you. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a couple things here. I'm just trying to decide which one to go with.
I mean, let's just get the assassin over and done with, because it's obligatory.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, that is of course one of the things that I could throw at you.
Yeah. I was just kidding though.
But okay, so what I'm gonna do is you get this information first, Alrik, because you're the leader of the Outriders. One of your scouts comes up to you. What are you doing right now?
I'm doing things and stuff.
Did you like that misdirect? He asked me what I do during my day, but then he asked you what you're doing, and not me.
Probably paperwork.
Okay. What kind of?
Does your character have the right skill?
Read? Can you write?
No, because Burning Wheel is a shit game.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
This is Burning Wheel. You have to know these skills, or you can't read or write. Have fun with that.
It's rough playing
It's
Burning
a hard knock
Wheel.
life.
When you want to be a character that has basic competencies like reading and writing.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a
That
basic
weren't
competency.
in the time, but somehow.
Yeah, it makes remembering that your character can't read and write a little bit of a pain.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I said the Middle East. I meant we're in the Middle Ages.
Oh, wow, racist man!
Wait.
People in the Middle East can't read or write.
That doesn't have anything to do with race and everything to do with location, though.
Yeah.
Geography.
Well, I mean, there's a
Either one.
nationality that lives primarily in it.
Whatever.
Anyways, moving on.
So let's see. So you're. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna answer that question.
Well, I mean, I'm double checking your skills because I don't think you do.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, maybe he's having someone do paperwork for him, like the same way I would, right? Dictating to somebody else.
Well, if paperwork isn't an option.
I mean, I'm sure you have to do paperwork in some way, so I'm sure you have somebody who
you
can
have a
write
scribe
for
of
you.
some sort, right?
Yeah.
You just got finished talking with one of your scribes or whatever.
Okay.
And they step away, and she just kind of like left in your room. You hear a frantic knock on your door.
I bid them enter.
Okay. Nasrin soldier under your command walks in, a scout, and he like salutes sharply, and he says, are you your commander, Alrik? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Commander Alrik. There's
probably a more Middle Eastern sounding word for that, as probably is for Outriders as well. But yeah, who cares?
Yeah, we use Sahib, but we don't use any of the others. Yeah.
Sahib, Marasi, but Outriders is fine.
It's fine. I mean, to be honest, this is actually a town that was owned by Serrano.
That's fair.
So it's pretty mixed.
Sorry. Anyways.
Derailed.
Yeah. So he says, Commander Alrik, I have some troubling news. One of our scouts reported that there's a band of what looks like mercenaries or something, cavalrymen, heading towards Whitesea.
Did they bear any marks?
Did they what?
Bear any marks? Can we tell whose they were?
He says there was, I believe there was a flag, herald of some sort, but I couldn't recognize it. I'm not versed enough in the tribal heraldics. It looks like some tribesmen to me.
I need more than that, soldier. Scout person.
Yes, soldier.
Colors, shapes, something.
I mean, it's still a little bit too far out to say for certain. They are heading this way. Seems to be about 100 of them, I'd say.
How fast were they moving, and how soon will they get here?
They should be here in 2-3 hours, maybe. They're not moving.
Oh my goodness! What is wrong with this network of Outright? You need to beat these people into shape. We're supposed to get them days ahead of time.
Well, that's the thing. Like these guys are moving so quickly that like you realize that Outriders are on horses too, right? Like there's only so much faster they could go from the people that are coming towards.
Yeah, except that 100 people have a lot more horses to feed and a whole lot more men to feed and a whole lot more ground to cover and a whole lot more. I'm in your way. I'm trying not to run over you. People. That many people move way slower, even on horses, than a single person with a fast horse.
Right. So he says about a day or two out. Yeah, you're right. Okay. You're right.
And I mean that's fine. Like we established that they.
Well, I'm assuming that Alrik has tried to like make that better.
Right. But I mean, he's also only been in charge for like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So let's say like if they'll be here, he says they'll be here tomorrow, and it's like midday right now, and so it's still a little, it's cutting it a little bit close. Like someone probably should have noticed this before now.
Yeah. If only there was a large group of people outside of our walls to buffer us from this group of cavalry.
I indicate that. Is this just a regular scout, or is this somebody like one step up in the ranks?
Yeah, this is basically like the guy who would come to you to give you this information.
Okay, so just them.
It's not. He doesn't necessarily.
Probably like a sergeant or something.
Yeah, like a sergeant. Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. I instruct him to send out another rider, see if we can get a better look at their equipment, get an accurate count, and banner, sigil, something where they're from.
Yeah. He salutes again and he says, "Already done, sir."
And then I request the scribe I was just working with to pull up information on routes and rounds, because we're going over that again.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, he like sighs, pulls out his paperwork again.
I'm gonna.
Power structures over here.
What's that?
I'm trying to make a decision here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think okay. At this point, I think I'm gonna go seek out Caspian.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, so you are also doing paperwork or dictating some paperwork to Ravi when Alrik steps in.
So yeah, say we would be delighted if you. And then Alrik walks in, and Ravi's like, "Oh, Alrik, please take a seat." And he gestures to a chair.
Sahib, a reasonably large band of horsemen has been spotted moving toward Whitesea. My scouts estimate they'll be here midday tomorrow.
Seems we have a generous number of visitors lately. Did he say who they belong to? It's not Eero, is it?
We're still trying to determine that.
He would have recognized Eero's banner.
Okay.
I'll have a better report by sundown.
All right. Well, I suppose I ought to let Cantarius know that he's about to be run over by some horses. I do appreciate it, Alrik. Was that all?
Of course. For now, that's all we've got.
Perfect. If you don't have more pressing business, perhaps you'd like to accompany me.
So,
other than
Ravi looks up at this point and he says, "If you're going to be busy, would you mind if I?"
Why don't you just finish up the pleasantries at the end of this letter here, and you can go, I don't know, pound the rock, as it were.
He kind of like he like glares at you. He's like, "You're so uncivilized, cousin," and then like finishes up the.
It's a euphemism. It means we're. Get out of here.
He flourishes the signature and then rolls up the scroll and he like bows extravagantly, walks out.
Yeah, great.
He went to see Matria.
Yep.
I guess that.
Apparently her nickname's The Rock. Anyways, so yeah.
Too far.
Yeah, I mean, he made the joke, not me. Okay.
Too far. Yeah, Caspian. Wow, I see how it is. My character made the joke, not me.
No, Ravi made the joke. Anyways,
he did not make the joke.
I referenced a commonly used phrase to mean work hard, and he turned it into something else. All right. No, anyways.
All right. Yep. I'm sure that's not what you're thinking at all when you originally said that.
No, I was thinking about the banner we have I didn't mention this is Pound the Rock. It's a picture of a hammer smashing a rock because that's what they say when they say work hard.
Gotcha.
Moving on.
So it is my fault then. I would like to apologize.
Yeah. Anyways, now that we got that out of the way. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Did you have a response, Alrik, to me asking if you had more pressing business?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
Fine.
May I ask for what? I have routes to go over that we should have had notice. We should have had notice earlier.
He mentioned that he was going to go talk to Cantarius. So that's what he meant.
That was context. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I ruined the context by interrupting.
It's okay.
He just nods then.
Wonderful. I imagine this will go swimmingly.
So you guys are going personally to go meet with
Yeah.
Cantarius? Okay. Cantarius, are you helping build the wall then at this point?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys go down and Cantarius is like,
Oh yeah, I forgot you're doing the thing.
wiping his brow as he like helps his people like start piling rocks and doing whatever you do to build a wall. I don't know.
Are you actually like doing it, or are you overseeing it?
I'd assume that I was there.
Yeah, I'd assume you'd be helping, right? Because I mean, you don't know how to, like, you're not an architect, right? Like Antonius is like leading the like design and like helping like figure out like what is actually supposed to happen. You're just like he's just like, put that rock there, and you're like, all right, I'll do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm a leader, so I don't want to have my people do something, especially something as, I mean, probably unsettling as helping them build a wall. I'm there, like.
Yeah, and so Cantarius, like, as you're doing this, you see what's his name? I believe Vikam is his name, the husband of the witch person, the Ludwita. He's just like
that guy's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's alive and as annoying as ever.
This is why I miss Dylan. Anytime I did like a character, they just stopped showing up.
He's like several yards away, like leaning against like a palm tree or whatever else is in this, like an acacia tree or whatever. As you like watching you guys do this,
right?
And then you see Caspian and Alrik come near.
I look at Caspian and Alrik. I look back at the guy. Look at Caspian and Alrik. Look back at the guy.
Surrounded by people you don't like.
No, it's the thing of like, we're supposed to be helping, and
and your guy's standing around you,
and my guy's just standing there, and I'm just like, please get up.
They'll let you look bad,
right? Do you want to try to like give angry eyes to him?
Angry eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll intimidate him. Can you roll for me?
I can do that.
Pretty please. Awesome.
You too busy playing a video game?
Both.
I mean, Connor, one thing you could do, Connor, is you could just still have my laptop up there, just like to make rolls if you wanted to.
Yeah, I could do that, but I'm not.
You wanted to be active in the game that you're playing. Just kidding. I'm watching YouTube videos, so don't worry about it. There's this
guys, there's this thing called the illusion of we're all paying attention.
I'm paying attention. I don't really know what it is I'm watching.
David just died. Everyone just died.
What did he disappear?
I don't know. I can hear Josh and Connor saying that I died.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still dead?
Everybody's back for me.
I don't think anybody ever dropped for me. Am I good?
Yeah,
you're good.
Okay. All right.
All three of you just like instantaneously just stop moving and stop talking.
Oh, that's weird.
For me.
What do you do?
Anyway, so intimidation. So you're just gonna do base intimidation?
Yeah.
No forks?
I mean, I'll fork in command. There are people I don't really want to make it a scene. I'll fork in ugly truth and say something like, you realize that the only reason you're a part of like this 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 people is because we all work together and help each other out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not useful to us, and I just kind of leave it like that.
Right.
No, that's weird.
I mean, I already just...
That's weird.
I mean, you could just have a more direct threat, like, if you're not going to work, you can leave, and then just walk by or something. That's intimidating.
Or like,
Also,
why are you
it.
here? Like, there's no reason
Hey,
for
you
you to
got
be
it,
here.
though.
Okay, yeah, I'll say something like that. Why are you here?
Why are you here?
That's literally all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. Why are you here?
And I think, yeah, like, he looks at you, looks at the wall, and he says, Antonius, put me to work.
That's better than I was expecting. I thought he was just going to shrug and leave.
I mean, he succeeded, so.
I succeeded.
Oh, that's true.
If
Never
he
mind.
if he'd failed, then he would have done that.
Forgot that was how this game worked and stuff. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, there's a thing called intent. Anyway. So he goes in, he's very scared of you, so he goes over and asks Antonius what he should do. So Caspian and Alrik, you walk over and all the Crow Inquisitors are helping out.
Awesome.
Cool. I mean, how long have they been doing this? Must not have, like, it's been like a day maybe, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they just got started.
It's been
Basically.
years.
Okay. So there's not a lot of progress.
Yeah.
So most of it's probably just clearing and stuff then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Like clearing the ground. Yeah, like maybe cutting down a tree or two.
So,
pulling out some
question. We're adding to the space of the town.
I would
Right.
So
that's true.
you guys must be working outside of the wall, right? Because so we had to leave
Yeah,
first.
probably.
We left the city and then went around to where you were working. Okay.
So is the idea to make like another like concentric ring around the town? Is that a thing?
I
Or
don't think.
Yeah.
just like
My theory was just
Well-
my theory was just slapping on an additional extension.
Yeah.
Rather than, because otherwise
that would take a very long time to make another.
it would take an
level.
exceptionally long time and be a lot of effort to
What it probably
build
is
another loop.
is basically the beginning of that, right? So it's going to be the beginning of another concentric ring, but it's only in a small portion of the. Like, eventually we would take out the sides of that wall and then expand it further because we don't have time or resources probably to build a whole ring, and like you said, it would take forever. And right now we're just concerned with that.
So I'm curious because, like, I mean, I don't know how much I know about like city expansion in the medieval period, but like, I'm assuming that like there are still like structures currently outside of the walls.
Yeah. So
right?
normally it would be a keep, and then if it was established, there would be a keep town, and then there would be the wall.
Mhm.
If it wasn't established, it would just be a keep and then a town. But it's the wall, and then usually the way it would work is the town would organically grow outside of the walls until it was big enough that they wanted to add another series of walls.
Mhm.
So what we're kind of doing it backwards. Well, probably not, because that would be kind of strange
Yeah.
No, we're
Um,
putting walls around a slummy bit outside. It's going to be
Right.
less slummy.
and improved. Yeah, because what I was picturing was that we were adding walls so that we could safely expand to an area. Because we're kind of paranoid, but I think it makes more sense. There's at least something in there. It might just be a bunch of shoddy tents and like stuff like that, but it's something probably.
Mhm.
And I assume there's multiple areas, like farms and that kind of stuff. Obviously, would be outside, outside the walls. But yeah,
Mhm.
so I
Okay,
assume so.
that makes sense.
In which case, I probably should have brought more people because this is the poor part of town. But whatever.
He got Alrik. He's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want a chance to hit things.
Yeah.
I'll pound steaks for Antonius.
Yeah, right. So okay, yeah, so we're outside of the city. So
You go up to Antonius. You're like, "Hey, friend," and Antonius is like,
Put
"Hey,
me to work."
friend. I can just give
And
you
so-
control of Antonius for a scene if you just want to have a conversation between Antonius and Alrik. If you,
That would be quiet and awkward, but
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Hey,
Well, I'll just walk away. And
hey.
Sup?
what's up? Who are you again? Antonius. Who are you? All right. Oh, okay, cool. Oh,
I
this
guess
is
they
nice
should
chat.
do it.
All right, we're done. I did the whole thing. And then they fight. And then
And then Alrik wins by
I
landslide.
was gonna say, 'cause,
If you guys just wrestled, that might be another case.
that makes more sense, probably.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to kill each other.
Antonius might have a chance in an arm wrestle.
Because that's just power.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so Cantarius, you're just kind of directing things, right? So you're just sort of standing out away from the work.
Yes.
Okay, so I walk up to you then. So okay, when we said clearing out, did we mean like clearing out space and rubble, or do we mean like tents and people?
I would assume not, right? Like,
okay.
I'm assuming that there are semi-permanent structures outside the wall here, and so you're just like, I think, as Alrik said, the intention is to build a wall around this like shanty town, and then improve the shanty town, right?
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Fair. All right.
So I mean, they're clearing some brush like that still grows, because obviously no one's taking the time to like clear any of the stuff that's outside the walls yet. So it's clearing up some brush, digging up some like big stones, stuff like that. Okay. Digging the trench that you put the foundation in.
Big rocks.
So I guess we just walk up. Cantarius?
Caspian. Hold up my hand.
Yeah, I take it. How was your morning, Ben? Looks like your men have been making progress. What time is it? It's morning, right? Or at least
midday. Afternoon.
It's afternoon. Oh, okay. How was your day?
Time is getting away from you.
Yeah, apparently. I'm old, what they say.
We're leaders.
Yeah. Even though I look like I'm like early 30s. But anyways.
Time is always a resource we need a lot more of.
To be certain. So how's the progress going?
Slow. My people are kind of getting into the groove of things. And, yeah.
I hope the residents of the area haven't given you any trouble or gotten in your way. It's not the nicest area of town, unfortunately.
Have they?
Caleb?
Sorry, say it. So I was looking at... Go ahead.
Have the poorer people in this area of town, given them any trouble?
Give me rock.
Good question.
Must feed family.
I don't think so. I think they haven't done anything yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And just as you ask, some man like runs out naked and throws a rocket on the microphone.
Get away!
We don't want your wall. We're not gonna pay for it. Anyways,
No, you must pay for a wall.
Yeah. No, they're on the wrong side of that wall for that joke to make sense.
This is where the immigrants live, obviously. So.
Right. Yeah. Still on the wrong side of the wall, but anyways, yeah. So you say no? I take it.
What?
I asked you if they've been giving you trouble. I don't think.
Oh yeah, no.
You said a naked guy runs out. So what was the real response?
No. Yeah. There's no trouble. No trouble at all.
Your voice got really deep randomly there. Yeah. Yeah. It's just. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that may not stay that way. There's. I've gotten word that a contingent of horsemen are on their way. Unfortunately, they're still about a day out, so I haven't yet been informed as to whom they belong, to who they belong.
Ah,
right.
So an unknown force is approaching.
It seems that way. Though, did they know if they were armed at all? I mean, if they couldn't tell what banner they were using, they probably couldn't tell they had spears.
Well, I mean, he saw the banner. But he didn't recognize the banner. So yeah, they're armed. Yeah, they're armed.
Yeah, somebody's getting a talking to.
Remember, I said I said they were looked like mercenaries.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, he says
tribal mercenaries of some sort.
We don't recognize the banner, but they appear to be some sort of mercenaries. What?
Is there something we should be doing instead to help prepare for this? Perhaps digging a trench?
And you look over and you're actually you guys are already digging a trench.
He shrugs.
Yeah,
cavalry will be
dig a trench to put the foundation of the wall in.
Oh.
He shrugs and he says, "Cavalry will be ineffectual against walls. I'm not particularly concerned, but your men are outside of the walls. I just thought you might need some warning."
Oh, thanks. What the crap, man?
I'm not gonna let you come in my walls, but
I didn't say that. I was saying that I'm not worried. I just thought you might want to know.
That is the implication. I'm not worried, but you guys should be.
Well, you asked if you wanted to dig a trench, and I said, "No, it's cool. We don't need to." That was what I said. So you might need a trench.
We don't exactly. Yeah. We don't, but you do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he
keep on digging, buddy.
Yeah. No, don't start digging. Like we need that wall first. So.
Yeah. He shrugs and just says that basically the wall will do us fine. But
okay.
I know your men are stationed outside of the wall. I thought you might need to look for warning.
Okay. Honestly, he's kind of concerned and like kind of wants to ask for his weapons back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do it.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
Is there any way that we could get our weapons back for a day?
How easy would it be to cart all those? I mean, I assume they're just still
easy.
laying in the carts, though, right? Like, we wouldn't take them out, would we? We didn't have any use for them, did we?
Unless you wanted to use the carts.
I'm sure you didn't commandeer my weapons.
That's true.
That's messed up.
Like, you probably just put them in a storage room, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a bit of a process to take them all out again and give them back.
I mean, I guess we have a day. So...
That's true. I guess you don't have to do any of this, so you could just order your people to do it.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you probably don't have any. Yeah.
Yeah. See, my only dilemma here is that...
Well, Cantarius can also make a roll.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm cool with giving you the weapons back. That's not the problem. My problem is that giving you your weapons... Like, it seems pretty unreasonable to be like, yeah, so you should stand outside the walls while we hang out here. But I'm also not a huge fan of giving you all your weapons back and then letting you in the walls.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I was saying.
I know it's not.
I was assuming that you don't want me in the walls because you didn't offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of mean.
Well, it is. And that's why I was just kind of...
No, wait a minute.
All right, well...
Hold on a second.
It's only 100 dudes, too. So, like...
Oh, it's only 100?
Yeah, most of your...
it's 100 cavalry? Like, if they attack you, you would all be dead.
Yeah,
right, it's a problem for
city.
footmen.
Yeah, it's a problem for the Crow Inquisitors. It's not a problem for the city, really.
Right, yeah.
Have you ever played Battle for Middle-earth 2?
I mean, video games don't understand cavalry.
You don't understand cavalry.
If Total War can't do cavalry justice, I promise you that game didn't.
Probably.
You know what?
That game is beauty.
Am testing the intentions of your overture. So, tell you what, I'm aware that the vast majority of your soldiers are out fighting Eero for me right now. So, right, that's correct, right? Most of their people are like half of
most of their good soldiers.
Okay, right. So most of them that are left are like the camp followers, right?
Yeah. The camp followers.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not worried about them. So okay.
Yeah, the people you should have been worried about the most are gone.
Okay. Why don't you make a roll? Well, no, there's no reason. I think this is something I want anyways. So I think he ponders for a moment. He says, I'm afraid that now you guys primarily have spears, so maybe that's not true. You probably would wreck cavalry in an open field.
That's actually true. If they all just like
bows, right? Well, you wouldn't wreck. You would kill them. But
yes.
It would be bad both sides.
Yeah.
So I think it says. Did you guys have crossbows, right? He says that. He says, of course, I wouldn't want you to be in danger of being overrun. Tell me, have you been
overrun?
I mean that was intentional. They are horses. Are your men capable?
Oh, they are capable.
Archers, I guess. Crossbowmen. Do you have bows or crossbows? Which one are they?
That's a good question. Does anyone?
I assume you have a ranged capability of some sort.
Right. So does anyone in your group know how to use those weapons?
Yeah, now that so many of your men are gone. Because I asked you if they're capable, and you said yes, but is that a lie?
Okay, am I going to be making some kind of roll for this, or am I just deciding off of logic?
Maybe.
Because I really don't want to make a circles roll, because that is not going to make sense.
You're probably going to have to make a circles roll. That's the thing that makes the most sense, right? Like to come up with a person who can train all of your people in archery, right? Otherwise,
because most of your people left don't really know how to use them super well, right? Yeah, they probably know how to use a spear at least because they're.
So you're going to try to train them in an afternoon?
No. What I meant was the circles roll would be for Cantarius having had a person in the past who knew how to use archery and had trained
black
his
arrows.
men. Had trained some men, at least, in archery.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no. None of your people know how to use archery. So
Awesome.
So
All right, well,
that circles roll.
What's the ob?
It's a good question. Problem is, you don't have any...
You should make Iris make that roll, because he might actually have, like, soldier life paths.
He doesn't. He
doesn't? Alright,
he's
you're
a
screwed. Have fun.
cultist.
GG.
I'm trying to think if you do have anyone who would be able to make that sort of roll.
You could just use the chance die rule thing where you roll a d6, and if it's a 1 through 3, you don't. 5 through 6, you do.
So what you could do, Connor, is we could just say that this person, the way to make this easiest is to say this person is a outcast, who like you met in Nasrin, probably, right? Because you have that as a setting as well.
That'd make it significantly easier.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, it would be very unlikely to just be like, well, I happen to know someone while I was back in school who was a really good archer.
That would probably mean that they were better, which not that this would matter, but for flavor sense, they were probably better at hunting than they were, like, firing a war bow.
Possibly, yeah.
Especially, well, they might use crossbows too, but yeah, presumably, if they're like it'd make the test easier, like, but it would probably also be a little bit less precise.
It really depends on your exact intent here, Connor. Do you want to find an outcast who was good with hunting and bows, who trained your men, or do you want to find a ex-military guy who was really good at archery and trained your men?
Which would be like harder?
The second, the last one.
The military guy would be better, but it would also be harder because you don't share.
Can I have the ob for both?
Sure.
I think once he gives you the ob, you have to roll.
I mean,
Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, but like I can just it will probably be like a difference of probably 1 ob. So.
Oh. Okay. Unfortunately, that's a big difference for circles usually.
It is, yeah. It would be an ob. It's gonna be ob 4 versus ob 5.
And you have reputations and stuff too that you can leverage.
Yeah.
So those would help.
Yeah, it's gonna be ob 4 versus ob 5.
What are my reputations? I can't find them.
They're on stats and skills. So, you have.
Oh no, okay. Guiding prophet and hereditary.
I was on
heretic
Caspian.
totalitarian.
What?
I don't think either of those are going to help you because I couldn't understand them.
Heretic totalitarian. You don't want to use that one. It's the infamous one. Guiding prophet is the one you'd want to use, and then.
I mean, an infamous one could help you if they were somebody who really didn't like your religion, your old religion.
Yeah, dude, an ex-military man from the city or whatever who hated the church.
No, so heretic totalitarian is his reputation among the Crow Inquisitors. Which he's a heretic to them. So someone who would be influenced by that, like it would have to be someone who likes that he's a heretic.
Not anymore, is it?
Okay, dude, some ex-military, some super rebellious ex-military man.
He has 2 reputations. He has one, basically that applies to mostly the strong. So Iris's band, which is heretic totalitarian, and then the one he has with most the regular people is guiding prophet.
Okay, all right. I was like, doesn't he own the Crow Inquisitors basically now? Why is he a heretic? Okay,
so if you wanted to find someone who's like loyal to you and your religion, like your side of the Crow Inquisitors, you would want to use guiding prophet.
That's not nearly as much fun.
If you want to remember a guy who left with Iris, you could use the heretic.
Yeah.
Right now, okay, I'll use guiding prophet then.
Yeah. And then I'm not sure your affiliation with Crow Inquisitors would really help because they're not a part of the Crow Inquisitors necessarily, like when you circled them up in the past.
Right.
So you can get one modifier. You can use the ob. You can do the ob 4 or the ob 5 one. The hunter or the
honestly, I think the hunter one is really interesting, but I think I'm gonna go with ob 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now you don't get tests for circles unless you succeed, right? Or is that resources?
No, that's resources.
Okay, I was about to say. I'm definitely going with 4. But, is there any skills that I could work in with this?
Not with circles.
You can make link tests.
You can link test, yeah.
If you have a wise or something.
I have cult doctrine wise.
You have cult doctrine.
It's a different kind of cultist.
But
no, I don't have a wise.
You have a junk wise. You probably don't want to use that one.
This guy
He's a really bad archer.
This guy is total junk, man.
This guy's junk. He's a real jack.
Anywho, Yeah. So
Yeah.
unless you got a skill that would make sense for
A sight. I can make a sight like test to find him.
Nope. That's not
I
how.
don't think that's how that works.
I looked on the horizon.
An arrow hits you in the eye. Look, I found him.
You can use persona.
Yeah, persona works.
You've already spent 3 persona on circles, so.
Jeez. Just
Can one gray shade
your-
circles?
I think. Technically.
Yeah.
I assume.
Can I
don't think you can
do a
start
link
with gray
test of anatomy
Oh, you can.
to help me find the build of the man that I know would be the archer and military, ex-military.
Say it again.
I don't think that would
Can I
help you
use-
find somebody. Like, I mean,
If
pretty
they're
sure you'd be
all-
able to tell if he was. The problem is like finding
how-
him and then having him being like friendly towards you, not like you're an archer. Plus, I don't know if you know specifically the build of an archer. You'd just be ripped. Like he could be a lot of things. You're just ripped.
These are the kind of things that I do know. Come on.
Don't know. I don't think because you'd have to make a link test with that, and I don't know that makes sense. But I guess it's up to Caleb. If he thinks anatomy can help you find a person that shoots a bow. Yeah, I didn't think so.
I already said that.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I think you might have cut out. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm using the modifier for the guiding prophet 1.
Yeah.
Absolute using 3 Artha.
3 Artha. Why? All right. Good luck.
He can do it.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah.
That's 6 on 5.
He has 12. He has
Don't
12
run
persona.
out of. You have 12 persona.
Yeah.
Oh right, because you carried over.
Yep.
Forgot about that.
This is
I
what
don't
happens.
know if I want to make this roll.
Must be nice. Just kidding. I own a town. I'm not jealous.
You also have a deeds point to spend if you really
Good
want.
deeds. Now I'm jealous. Get out of here.
What was the ob you said?
5.
5, yeah.
All right, right.
Here we go.
Oh, did I get a 6? Yes.
Yeah, you won 6. All
You
right.
got a 6. Oh, you
Moment
can
of
do
truth.
it.
Moment of
You
truth.
can do it.
Yes.
Yes. Good job.
Nice. Awesome.
Nice.
So mark that challenging test for circles. You
Yeah,
only
boy.
need one routine and you advance it. Mark those Artha on there too and the fate, and then take them from your pool.
Good job.
Cool. So yeah, this is a person who does work for you. It's probably one of your inner circle people, right?
Oh yeah.
So
This is my what's his name from Oathbringer. What's his?
I was gonna say you met him in a town that you sack. He shoots black arrows.
Exactly. Yeah.
I actually
exactly.
made that joke earlier. I don't think anybody heard it, but I said he shoots black arrows.
That's so true, man. That's so true.
Well,
So yeah, he shot you once.
Are we talking spoilers,
we are
boys?
we are talking spoiler. I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess that was sort of a spoiler, not really.
no,
I mean, maybe
it's
it was. I don't know.
No,
Not
not
far
really.
enough.
It's not a spoiler.
Oh no. Bye, Josh.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Did I break your overlays?
No, you're the last one.
Rubbish.
It's like, okay, no, we should take a break real quick because I'm gonna go get juice.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, what? What's
okay.
that? Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah, let's stop right there, and then we'll come back and figure out the rest of this scene. All right, we'll be right back right after this.